We're laying down covering fire in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. So I'm going to go on the record by saying this is probably one of the heaviest reviews I've done to date. I'm going to see if my shoulder and arm can hold out to the end of this one. But we're looking at the A&K M249 Para, better known as the Saw. So if you've been on the airsoft battlefield, especially at skirmish sites like larger fields or even mil-sim ops, you've definitely seen one of these out on the field or some version of it. It's the M249 Saw, and it's designed as a support weapon. Now, this is the Para version, and what makes it the Para version a little bit different than the regular Saw is simply the size and some features. This one is really designed to be a bit more compact. Although compact, it doesn't always mean lightweight. Starting off, this thing weighs in at just under 14 pounds unloaded. That's no battery, and there are no BBs in the box mag. So this is going to be a little bit on the heavier end when it comes to the battlefield weapons, and you're probably going to want to invest in a sling at least to carry this thing around all day. So this being the Para, you do get the shorter outer barrel. So it does go from here to here, but don't think super short. This is still an M4 length inner barrel inside of here. So the inner barrel does go all the way to the end. Actually, you can barely see it through the flash hider here. So it is perfect for extensions if you want to add a little length, a suppressor out here to hide like a longer inner barrel, or just stick with it. Because remember, support guns are designed for volume of fire, not exactly accuracy, but this thing's still pretty darn accurate nonetheless. So with the barrel length there, you do get the plastic shroud here front and the side shrouds. That does keep a little bit of the front weight down, but in turn you do still get the bipod here to go with it. Bipod's a nice touch so you can lay fire. Personally, I don't use the bipod this way, but I will run it all the way forward. Now if you're going, well Jonathan, why would I want to run the bipod forward like that? If you set it on the ground, it keeps your barrel from getting in the dirt, and it makes it just the right height. I can't show you guys on camera here. It makes it just the right height to actually sit and rest it when you're not carrying this 14-pound beast around everywhere you go. So it's a nice little touch to have it there. Plus, it doesn't really get in the way of firing. But again, you can always just squeeze it, pinch it, and swing it in. Also, another little trick I learned running a Saw, because I ran one actually for a few years. You can actually pinch this together and use it kind of like a makeshift foregrip. It's not the best solution, but it does work in a pinch and allows you to control the front of this a little easier than grabbing the front, because that box mag does make it kind of tough to get a tight weld here. You kind of got to chicken wing it with your left hand. So with the bipod out of the way, and by the way, the bipod is extendable as well, you actually do get this carry handle. If you push it toward you and you swing it up, it actually gives you a great little handle so you can hold it, carry this thing around, which does take that stress off when you want to get from place to place in between games. Of course, it does fold forward and out of the way so you can still sight down the weapon when you need to. And talking about sights, you do get a nice big rail here across the back, which is a touch on the Para you don't normally find on the standard Saws, but you do still get the iron sights front and rear. And if you want to run optic, you can. Personally, for me, when I ran my Saw, I was more of a bigger fan of the iron sights. The back does have an aperture, like a hole aperture, and then you can flip it forward to a notch aperture. I prefer the notch, just kind of, you want to be able to see more of the battlefield than having an optic in the way. But considering they do give you this rail, you can always add something like a really small red dot to ease on sighting. Moving to the back, you do get the Para stock, which looks like it's nothing, but in fact, it slides out, swings around, and you're good to go. Now it is a full stock to shoulder your gun, and to ease in that stock, you do get this little extra piece that flips up. I found that's kind of nice. It kind of sits over top of the shoulder to maybe help out a little bit. On the real one, it's for shouldering and keeping that weapon down, but on this one, it's a little more cosmetic than anything else. Rounding out the externals is the box mag, and I do want to talk about this. It is a sound activated and switch activated. So on the bottom of the box mag here, you've got a switch, and you can actually turn it to off, so it's not feeding at all. Sound activation, which means it will start feeding when it hears the gun firing, and then of course you can have it so it just automatically feeds. It's in a good spot too, so if you need to, you can always reach down and flip the switch and adjust it accordingly. So let's say the sound's not really keeping up, you can switch it over and make it just go wide open. So if you're really having to lay down fire, you can kind of pre-wind your magazine. Also, what's really neat about this 2,400 round box mag, it does take 2 AA batteries, which are not included by the way, but it does fit into an M4 mag well. So let's say you run out of BBs in this, your batteries die or something down the road, you don't have a spare box mag, which you can pick up. It does have a standard mount, fits pretty much any box mag you're going to find that fits other Saws. You can actually pop this out and put M4 mags, mid caps or high caps, directly in the side of the gun, so you still can stay in the battle, which is an awesome touch. If you're running out of BBs, you're definitely going to have a way to feed this beast without having to pop this door open and fill it up. Now, first off of the internals is where the battery lives. Because this is a para, you don't have a full stock in the back. The battery is going to go up here in the front. It actually lives in this area here. So it does take a little bit of finagling to get to. It's going to take you moving that bipod out of the way and accessing this front panel. It's wired to Tamiya's in the front, and you do get a 9.6 volt battery in the box with it, a standard nickel metal hydride battery, which is nice. Definitely if you want to do the rate of fire thing, I would probably consider moving up to a lower C rating LiPo battery to get a higher rate of fire. Don't go too high end on the rate of fire, because obviously, you know, it's going to have to be a little challenging to keep this box mag up with that rate of fire, but definitely go into like a 10 or a 15 C11.1 would be perfect. Under the hood, this being a saw, you get a beast Mech Box. I mean, I'm talking absolute beast. It is a massive hunk of metal here and darn near bulletproof. You can find a way to crack this Mech Box, you've done something crazy. So with this monster Mech Box, of course, is going to be more power. Out of the box, you're looking around 420 feet per second with this saw. But what the great part is, this little switch right here, this is your spring release. All you have to do is undo this back pin, take the back plate off, you can swap the spring out and adjust it to the power you want, probably up to about 450. Most big fields and big milsim events allow 450 feet per second when you're looking at saws, so you have the distinct advantage of carrying something that's heavy around, but it gives you extra firepower and of course extra ammo to counterbalance that. So guys, if you've been looking to really keep the heads down and play that support game in airsoft, definitely take a look at the A&K M249 para, this para version. It is a lot more compact, so it's a little easier to wield, especially if you guys are playing in tighter fields and you want to bring this thing down to, let's say, your field limit, even 350 or 400. Because of that quick change spring, you can do it. And this thing isn't exactly expensive. In fact, it's very affordable, and it's about the price of a standard premium AEG, so you can get in the saw game without having to drop a lot of money. And oh yeah, since it comes in the box mag, you can get going out of the box. So guys, if you're interested in doing this, you want to get your workout on and build some strong arms, check out the M249 para from A&K, and you can pick it up at the link in the description below. Of course, you can learn more down there as well. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you're not currently a subscriber, click on the logo in the bottom right or in the description and you'll always be in the know. Plus, if you like what you saw in this video and want to learn more, I've got a link down there as well. And if you haven't had your airsoft fixed just yet, click on the videos on the right or use the info button at the top of the screen for more. And as the saying goes, everyone has an opinion, and I do want to hear yours. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this video, comment, and share.